morning, everybody. I just got back from a beautiful walk. It's a little cloudy out, but it was so nice to walk. And I'm going to read you another story about George and Martha. Anyway, I hope that you all had a wonderful Easter. And hi, Dylan. Yesterday, I didn't read stories, and Dylan knew that there weren't any new stories out. Dylan is my #1 fan. So, Dylan, this is for you. I'm going to set George and Martha over here so they can listen. And I'm going to start with George and Martha. And this story is called Story Number 1. Martha was very fond of making split pea soup. Sometimes she made it all day long. Pots and pots of split pea soup. Have you ever tried split pea soup? I'm going to tell you a secret. I have, and I don't like it a lot, but Papa does. If there was one thing that George was not fond of, it was split pea soup. As a matter of fact, George hated split pea soup more than anything else in the world. But it was so hard to tell his friend Martha. Sometimes it's hard to tell our friends the truth. One day, after George had eaten 10 bowls of Martha's soup, he said to himself, "I just can't stand another bowl, not even another spoonful." So while Martha was out in the kitchen, George carefully poured the rest of his soup into his loafers under the table. Do you know what loafers are? They're a type of shoe. Now she will think I have eaten it. But you know what? Martha was watching from the kitchen. See those shoes down there? Those are called loafers. Your foot just slips into them. "How do you expect to walk home with your loafers full of split pea soup?" she asked George. "Oh dear," said George, "you saw me. And why didn't you tell me that you hate my split pea soup?" "Well, I didn't want to hurt your feelings," said George. "That's silly," said Martha. "Friends should always tell each other the truth. As a matter of fact, I don't like split pea soup very much myself. I only like to make it. From now on, you'll never have to eat that awful soup again." "Phew, what a relief," George sighed. "Would you like some chocolate chip cookies instead?" asked Martha. "Oh, that would be lovely," said George. "Then you shall have them," said his friend. And look what she made for George. Oh, wow. I'm going to read another book, Easter story called There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed a Chick. I can't imagine swallowing a chick, can you? Look at that Easter basket. I hope that everyone got some nice Easter treats. There was an old lady who swallowed a chick. I don't know why she swallowed that chick, but you know what? She didn't get sick. That's amazing. There was an old lady who swallowed some straw. The chick looked in awe as she swallowed the straw. She swallowed the straw to cover the chick. I don't know why she swallowed that chick, but she didn't get sick. I hope you can see those great pictures. There was an old lady who swallowed an egg. She didn't beg to swallow that egg. Oh, she's incredible. She swallowed the egg to jazz up the straw. She swallowed the straw to cover the chick. I don't know why she swallowed that chick, but thank goodness she didn't get sick. Wow. There was an old lady who swallowed some candy. She knew the candy would come in handy. She swallowed the candy to sweeten the egg. She swallowed the egg to jazz up the straw. She swallowed the straw to cover the chick, and I don't know why she swallowed that chick, but she didn't get sick. There was an old lady who swallowed a basket. Oh my! A tisket, a tasket, a brightly colored basket. Oh, I can't even imagine swallowing a basket, can you? She swallowed the basket to carry the candy. She swallowed the candy to sweeten the egg. And she swallowed the egg to jazz up the straw. And she swallowed the straw to cover the chick. I don't know why she swallowed that chick, but she didn't get sick. Whew, I'm glad. There was an old lady who swallowed a bow. Oh, what a show when she swallowed that bow. Well, at least that wasn't so big. She swallowed the bow to tie on the basket. She swallowed the basket to carry the candy. Wonder what's going to happen. She swallowed the candy to sweeten the egg, and she swallowed the egg to jazz up the straw. She swallowed the straw to cover the chicken. I don't know why she swallowed that chick, but she didn't get sick. There was an old lady who started to hop. She jumped up and down, and she just wouldn't stop. Whoa! As she skipped down the trail on a day that was sunny, guess who she met? Can you guess? Who do you think she met? Wow! The Easter Bunny! And I bet you can figure out why she swallowed all those things. She was helping the Easter Bunny, and he thanked her. He said, thanks. Now, this story is called Rechenka's Eggs. And I used to like reading this at Easter time to my class. Babushka lived alone in a dacha, a little house in the country, but she was known far and wide for the fine eggs that she lovingly painted. Her eggs were so beautiful. Do you know she always won first prize at the Easter festival in Moscow? Each day, Babushka would take the shell of an egg from her basket and paint it in wonderful designs, using the shapes of stars and flowers and triangles and circles. And through the long, cold winter, Babushka painted. Look at all those beautiful eggs. Oh my goodness, she was a very talented artist. Then one day after a snowstorm, Babushka went outside. She could still hear the faint sound of falling snow. It was a sound like soft rain. Herds of caribou came to feed at Babushka's because the grasses they usually ate were covered with snow. A miracle, she whispered as she fed some. These wild things have found their way to me. I think they were company for her. Just then a flock of noisy geese honked loudly overhead. As they glided over the snow, one of them faltered and fell from the sky. Babushka went to where the goose lay, crumpled in the snow. A hunter did this, Babushka grumbled. She carefully picked up the goose and took it back to her little house. Can you see where the goose is? He got shot, I think, in his wing, and he had some blood dripping down. There she fed the little goose from her own table, and she put the goose in her best basket, lined with the warmest quilt from her own bed. I shall name you a good name, one that we both can like. Eh, my little friend? And she patted the goose's head. How do you like Rechenka? Yes, then Rechenka it shall be. With Babushka's care, Rechenka grew stronger as each day passed, and to repay her kindness, do you know what Rechenka did? She laid an egg for breakfast every morning. Oh, that was so nice. As Rechenka got better, she waddled around the little house, exploring every nook, cupboard, and corner. And one day she jumped on top of Babushka's work table, overturning the jars of bright-colored paint that she used to color the eggs. No, Babushka screamed as she chased the goose with a broom. No! The frightened goose flapped her wings to get away and knocked over the basket of eggs that Babushka had so lovingly painted. The eggs crashed onto the floor and shattered into millions of pieces. They were both very sad. There was no reason now for Babushka to go to the festival. Do you think the goose meant to do it? I don't think he did. And sometimes we have accidents where things might break and we don't mean to do it. The next morning, Babushka slowly got out of bed and trundled over to Rechenka's basket to get her morning egg. But when she reached into the middle of the quilt, she picked out the most brilliantly colored egg that she had ever seen. A miracle, Babushka whispered. A miracle. Wow. She made small holes at both ends of the egg and blew the yolk and white into a dish to cook and eat later for breakfast. Then she held the egg up to the morning light and marveled at its beauty. After that, every morning for 12 mornings, there was another egg. each more beautiful than the one laid the day before, and soon Babushka had enough eggs to take to the festival in Moscow. How wonderful, she thought. A miracle has replaced the eggs that were broken. Just look how pretty all of those eggs are. Spring is here, my little friend, Babushka said to Rechenka the morning of the festival. Soon now you will be flying off to the north with your flock. She bustled to the hearth fire and brewed some of her most favored tea. The two shared a saucer of tea with a sweet Easter bread. She covered each piece with pashka, a spread of cheese, butter, and raisins. They savored each bite together. One for you and one for me, Babushka chanted. Da-da, my little friend, I shall sorely miss you. But you are a wild thing, and a miracle sent you to me. It would not be right to ask you to stay here with me forever. When Babushka left her little house, she took one last look at Rechenka, sitting on the doorstep. She waved and then took determined step for Moscow with the basket of her precious new eggs. She crossed Libetov Valley where the caribou mothers were walking toward newborn calves. A miracle, she thought. New little lives, a miracle. She crossed the bridge over the Moscow River, and soon she could see the onion domes of old Moscow. The festival was bright and exciting. There were goat carts selling kulich. There were processions and dancers and jugglers and laughing children playing and running. Babushka showed her old friends the eggs. Her eggs are the most beautiful of all Russia, they thought. Oh, they really admired them when they saw them. Look at them, the elders said. They almost glow, as if the paint is part of the shell itself. The judges picked Babushka's eggs as the most beautiful. Babushka was so happy. She beamed as she looked at the first prize, a feather bed quilt. Oh, it was so special. As Babushka made her way homeward, a honking flock of geese flew overhead. Babushka gave them a long, lingering look. She wondered if Rechenka was one of them. Look at that. When Babushka arrived at her home that evening, Rechenka was gone. Alone, she put the new quilt on her little bed. She brewed a cup of tea and she ate the last of the kulich and pashka. She got into bed with her favorite book of poems and drifted off to sleep. She hadn't even noticed Rechenka's basket. Now, can you see something in Rechenka's basket? Look there. But that night, Babushka was awakened from a sound sleep by an ever so small sound. It was coming from Rechenka's basket. She hobbled closer. She saw a glorious egg, but this one was different from all the others. It quivered and it moved. It made tiny muffled sounds. The egg jumped and bumped and rolled and pitched in the basket. Do you see what's happening? Then there was a crack, and Babushka could see the very special gift that Rechenka had left for her. All a miracle, Babushka said. And this little goose here, remained with Babushka always. I love this story, and I'm going to say goodbye. Mwah! I love you all. Bye-bye.
Amen.